Adam Clayton Powell, for the first time, was defeated. Charles Rangel won in a very close election. Within a few years, Adam Clayton Powell would contract cancer and die.
If we must die, let us not die like hogs penned in some inglorious spot. What use is an extra year or two to the man who kills the time that God has given him?
Much of the story of Adam Clayton Powell is on display here in this anteroom of the Abyssinia Baptist Church. But there are many parts of the Adam Powell story that you cannot see hanging up on the walls, mainly the ironies in his life. Isn't it ironic that Adam Powell was such a loud voice that few people would listen to? Perhaps if his loud voice had been heated on the question of police corruption, there may not have been a Knapp commission. If his loud voice about government corruption had been heated, there may not have been a Watergate. If his loud voice against hypocrisy on Capitol Hill had been heated, perhaps Wayne Hayes and Tom Dodd and Earl Butts and Carl Albert and countless others might not have been caught in such embarrassing situations. Adam Clayton Powell represents still another chapter in a long story of black militant fighters against oppression and injustice here in America. He wasn't perfect. He had his faults, but don't we all? The point is, he was a fighter. If he did play, he worked harder than he played. Most of all, he was a fighter.
As I know here, you're in trouble, where it says about 30% are unemployed. That's why I'm working hard to get this surplus food here. Some of you say to me, well, I'm not like you. I'm not a congressman. I haven't got education. I haven't got work. But you're a human being. And you know what you've got? You've got in your hand the power to use your vote and to use even those few cents you get from welfare to spend them only where you want to spend them. A young slave boy stood one day before the greatest ruler of his day. And God said to Moses, what's in your hand? And Moses said, Lord, only I've got a stick, that's all. He said, well, let me use what's in your hand. And God used that slave boy with a stick in his hand to divide the Red Seas, march through a wilderness, bring water out of rocks, manna from heaven, and bring his people to freedom land. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? George Washington Carver, who was so frail that he was traded for a broken down horse as a slave boy. And George Washington Carver, sitting in the science laboratory at Tuskegee, told me, he said, Dr. Powell, he said, I just go out in the fields each morning at 5 o'clock, and I let God guide me. And I bring back these little things and work them over my laboratory. And that man did more to revolutionize the agricultural science of peanuts and of cotton and sweet potato than any other human being in the field of agricultural science. What's in your hand? Just let God use you, that's all. What's in your hand? I've got a string in my hand, that's all, and I'm flying a kite. And way up in the heavens, lightning strikes it. And I, Benjamin Franklin, discover for the first time the possibilities of electricity with a string in my hand. What's in your hand? Little hunchback sitting in a Roman jail? I haven't got anything in my hand but an old quill pen, but God says, write what I tell you to write. Paul wrote, I have run my race with patience. I've finished my course. I've kept the faith. Henceforth is laid up for me the economy. What's in your hand, little boy? All I've got is a slingshot. And the enemies of my people are great and big and more numerous than we are. Well, little David, go down to the brook and pick out a few stones and come on back. and close your eyes if you want to and pull back that slingshot and let it go. And David killed the biggest enemy, the leader of the giants, against his people, and his people became free, just letting God guide a stone in his hand. And a few years passed, and David is a king. And God says, "What's in your hand?" He said, "I've got a harp in my hand." He said, "Well, David, play on your harp." And he played, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Maketh me to lie down in green pastures, leadeth me beside still waters. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil." What's in your hand? What's in your hand? Man hanging on a cross. I've got 2 nails in my hand. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraws thyself from me, whither shall I go? And that man, with 2 nails in his hand, split history in half, BC and AD. And what's in your hand tonight, people of Cambridge? You've got God in your hand, and he'll let you win, because he's on your side and one with God, always in the majority. So walk with him and talk with him and work with him and stick together and fight together. And with God's hand in your hand, the victory will be accomplished here sooner than you dreamed, sooner than you hoped, sooner than you prayed for, sooner than you imagined. Good night, and God bless you.
Never give up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ready for Evolution. Your brother and friend, Brother Eric Torrey Muhammad here. I pray all is well with you this morning on this fine, fine day, this Thursday, the day after the hump. And we're getting started. Class is in session. Y'all know the rules. Share, share, share. Share with everyone you love. Share with those you don't like. Maybe they'll learn to love you out of appreciation of what you share with them regarding this opportunity. So, of course, I want to welcome all of you to the stream. And class is absolutely in session. I want to thank Brother William Hafiz Bey for affording me that clip before we even ended yesterday. When I mentioned that clip of Brother Adam Clayton Powell Jr., this man had it to us, so quick. And man, I just appreciate the cooperation that we have with each other, the true family and the teamwork that's involved in helping us realize a greater reality. So again, Brother William, wa alaikum salam to you, and thank you once again for sharing. Okay. For all those that are part of the stream today, I just want us to know and understand that this particular day is dedicated to what's in your hands. All right. And we're going to move rather quick with it because it's all recorded and documented, and you'll be able to go back through the stream because it is detailed. And so you'll have to really parse it where it fits you. But Adam Clayton Powell was a phenomenal human being, you know, and being in New York during those years, that time, and understanding the magnitude of what he represented. Let me just give you an example of what revolutionaries do. In New York at that time, you couldn't get jobs at the utility companies. You couldn't work for electric or gas or water, telephone companies. You couldn't get them unless it was the customer service side and you were a woman. Okay, then a sister could get the job. All right, but we were not allowed in those utility jobs because they also had the growth of unions. They were very mob controlled, and there were things where they did not want us. Okay, Adam Clayton Powell knew the power of the stability in that particular workforce, where pensions were not afforded to Black people because of race, because of the prejudices and the injustices that were there in the city. So he started what was known as a Brown Boy campaign. All right. And he went through all the community and forced the hand of congressional leaders and assembly folks in the state of New York to bow and capitulate to the demands of Black and Latino communities to be included in the workforce when it came down to those utilities, those protected jobs. And the Brown Boy campaign was simply this. He said, you're going to respect our might, you know, and he ordered all of us to pay for everything we shop for in pennies. Groceries, clothing, bills, everything we had paid for in pennies. It was Adam Clayton Powell's campaign that single-handedly revolutionized how coins were handled in stores and in commerce, because that's where the wrappers came from. I'm talking about the coin wrappers, you know, because people were coming in and they were dumping barrels and jars of pennies and forcing people to count those pennies. And those lines would be there for hours. They were calling police. I mean, it's a tremendous history, but it broke the back of resistance. And then we became the majority of people working in these utility companies, working water, working light, gas. I mean, man, that's power. That's understanding people power. And he did understand that. And the narrator, the host of that particular clip that you saw was our brother, another revolutionary friend, Brother Gil Noble. For decades, he had a program on public television, Sunday mornings on, or Sunday afternoons, actually, on the ABC channel known as Like It Is. And Baba Kwame Ture was always on there, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakamin, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, who's still with us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., Reverend Calvin Butts of the Abyssinian Baptist Church. There were so many people. Sister Rosa Parks, Sister Ella Baker. He even had Queen Mother Moore, you know, the Garveyites. I mean, you name it. There was nobody in the diaspora that, if they were representative and in the country, Gil Noble had them on Like It Is. So may Allah be pleased with him. He was born and raised in Jamaica, you know, and he passed some years ago. But that's just a little backdrop to legacies that we leave. And the one thing that really moves me about that clip, the elements that he cited, he showed that it was really us. He showed we're Moses. He showed we're Jesus. He showed we're Ben Franklin. Now, let me give it some perspective. If you heard him, he didn't say Ben Franklin discovered electricity. He said through a string, he discovered the powers of electricity, the options that were involved. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But we know that discovery and that harnessing it in the light bulb and all that kind of stuff came from a black man named Lewis Latimer, along with 109 other inventions by Lewis Latimer. Okay, anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. All right, so what's in your hands? We're going to talk about that this morning because what's in our hands is critical to where we want to be. And before we get right there, this is the announcement of all announcements. So we have this, the 21st, this month, the 21st of May, that's a Thursday. There'll be a live stream with Robert Kiyosaki. Karyabars is inviting and recommending everyone be a part of this stream. We have our own private link to this stream where I call him Doctor, but Mr. Kiyosaki will be giving the presentation, and his subject matter is protect and increase your wealth in uncertain times. And there's no greater representative of understanding how you can do that in this hour than Mr. Kiyosaki. Mind you, Mr. Kiyosaki benefited from the 2008 debacle. He showed how he reinvented himself and grew his wealth massively, he and his wife, Kim. And we're going to see and hear some real anecdotes, testimonies, and strategies by which all of us as wealth builders can provide. So you're going to make sure that all your guests get there. You're going to make sure that all your prospects get there. You're going to make sure that you're there. There's only 10,000 seats for this stream. You know, and that's very important to understand. And people, those who are listening, if you think little of what we represent here, there's 100,000 plus affiliates as independent affiliates as members of Wealth Builders Worldwide. That's the culture that teaches wealth building, that which we present to you on a daily basis. And there are more than 1 million affiliates around the world in Karyabars International. So 10,000 seats, that's a very limited seating. Okay. And my wife and I sent out emails to our teams yesterday to inform them of strategy sessions that we'll be having to show them how they can get the word out, because there's no better time than now to reach out to people and help them to believe on what you represent, because what we represent, because he's such an authority. This is Mr. Rich Man, Rich Dad, Poor Dad himself. This is the cash flow quadrant walking amongst us himself, you know, and you don't want to take that for granted that he's made himself available to the Karyabars family. So that's going to be on the 21st. That's a Thursday, the 21st of May. You're going to learn more about it and get with your sponsors and plug yourself in so you can find out how you can share that link with everyone. Because I'm telling you, this is the one time where you might be able to have that once in a lifetime opportunity to really grow and explode your business. I mean, hands down, there's no greater endorser of what you do than someone that the world respects to the point that they listen, they hear. So please, by all means, make sure you check it out. Now, I borrowed this from The Wiz. That's I don't mean the play or the movie. I'm talking about The Wiz, W-H-I-Z, D-A Wiz. Hot Rod Rodney Berger, one of the leaders. He just celebrated his 6th year in Karyabars. His anniversary was yesterday, and it was a nice little celebration that we had. And of course, he dropped this jewel, and the jewel reads that if saving 1 gram of gold per month could change your life financially, would you sign up for free right now? I'm almost willing to wager because I'm not a betting man. But if you will put this to use in earnest through the system by which we use, you'll get results. You'll get people who want to know more about the opportunity. You'll be able to share that presentation, and you'll be on with myself or one of the upline sponsors for your third-party conversations. I'm telling you, it's just that awesome. It really is just that awesome. So big ups to Brother Hot Rod Rodney Berger. I appreciate him. And we're going to keep this moving now, because today we're going to discuss the unilevel compensation plan. And we're going to discuss it in a way to make it as user-friendly, in terms of understanding as possible, because this is something that gets pretty much ignored. But it's the bedrock. Saving gold is the bedrock of all that we do. And sometimes we skip it for that disease known as instant or immediate, rather, gratification. It's a dis-ease because it disrupts the flow of what it is that we are truly desirous of accomplishing. And there are times where the incentives are so great, the packages are astounding like they are now, and the money moves so fast in your leveraging yourself that we forget the bedrock. And when that incentive moves or goes away, what happens? While waiting on another incentive, the people lack the wealth and the cash flow because we were chasing a thing as opposed to building our wealth. So I want to share with you a little bit exactly what this compensation plan is designed to do. All right. And this is your free gold savings account, y'all. This is your free gold savings account. Understand this. And I borrowed this from Sister Denise Renee Muhammad, Madam President of Quarentine Radio. I want to thank her. Quote, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Understand, family, that success is not accidental. It doesn't come by accident. This is something you work at and work towards, you see. And you're in that position now where you can literally benefit from that success. Coach of coaches, Brother Al Murray in the house. Toya Cooper, good to see you, Queen. Sister Tracy. All right, so let's look at it. How we get started, basically, we set up our accounts, our free gold savings account, and then we process our KYC, which is know your customer. Your sponsors will take you through all this. It'll show you how to acquire your cash gold, start saving, building your gold, as well as utilizing it to acquire your package. And then you have the auto exchange, which is an automatic savings plan that's a part of your free gold savings account. All right. You will then make a list. You have to make your list. We had a very good discussion over this past week. I want you to go back to my YouTube channel, Eric Teray Muhammad, and you can review all the segments, all the episodes of Class in Session, and all that we did this week and last week. I have to say, with your participation, it was nothing short of fire. We thank you so much. All right. Invite everyone to watch the video. Everyone, because when you do that, you send the video to interested parties, which, of course, therealmoney.info is a site, an event that you don't have your own capture page. But if you have a free gold savings account, you have referral links. But don't worry, you're going to learn more about that in what we'll be introducing later before we close out. We follow up with everybody, ask what opportunity they saw for themselves. Okay. And we set up three-way calls for questions and answers to get people moving and going, because we teach them to plug in and we teach them to duplicate. And when we do that, you grow. And we share with everyone everywhere. We grow and expand the contact list. We have so many ways by which we go about this today where it didn't exist yesterday. So we have all the tools, we have all the trainings, we have all the platforms by which we can show you how we garnered this success. All right. And we earn residual cash flow and free gold. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to see cash flow in an opportunity like this? We showed you we did an exercise yesterday. I'm going to remind us of the exercise real quick. Okay. And I really want us to review this. Yesterday, we were talking about immediate surplus, meaning monies that you create out of what you do with your normal day. We show you how to remove spending from your vocabulary as well as from your activity, and move you toward allocating, building, and saving. Okay, so how did we do it? We talked about this. Do you remember my little chicken scratch here? We created a sheet of paper and just drew a line between it. One side, we put everything that we spend on. The other side, the surplus we started to develop. And we use mild examples. So if we were, if we spent on movies, right? And our movie, here we are. Our movies were $60. You're dealing with a family. You're not going out to the movies now. Why? You have a stay in shelter in place order, right? So now that form of entertainment is gone. So you just move it right on over here as a surplus. You don't spend it somewhere else because now you discovered you got another $60 or so. No, you save that. Now that surplus, mind you, is not, I repeat, it is not wealth building yet. That's disposable income that you will eventually allocate toward wealth building. So that builds up. If you're doing that weekly, just imagine if you're here doing fast food, that's what the FF stood for here, and your fast food a week ran $100 a week, you see, then all you're doing is allocating that now because you're home now. You got your gardens going, you're cooking, you're canning, you're preserving, you see. So you have all these avenues at your disposal where you see instant money from what you've already developed. You already have it. You already have it. So what do? We then take that surplus and we exchange that declining paper dollar for gold and leave it on our account and watch it, the growth of it. Man, it gets so exciting. I gotta watch myself. Hey, brother Ronald, I gotta watch myself. Look. So let's get back to this. All right, what is a unilevel system? All right, a unilevel system is where it's your savings program, and it's a way to earn a monthly income, and it comes with bonuses tied to it, where you can really accelerate and grow your earnings, okay? By sharing a simple plan, adding affiliates, by sponsoring them, okay? Everyone you sponsor is connected to you, and every connection grows the size of your team. And this goes on into infinity, forever. You start earning commissions every time money moves through the system by getting gold packages and other products. Let me stop real quick. I want to show you something. I don't normally do this. If you can see that, this is a short snapshot, if you will, of one of my accounts. All right. Everybody I sponsored in this account, which is roughly 200 or more here in this account, right? Everybody I sponsored there are on level 1 or UNI level. UNI means 1, okay? But what do I encourage them to do? I encourage them to get their free gold savings account, right? Then I get them to go through their KYCs, and I walk them through setting up their CarePay, and then I urge them to save in gold, or I urge them to get a package, because in the goals conversations, we find out what they really want to do. But that's just one level, okay? I want to show you the power of exponential growth, because, yeah, I sponsored 200 people, but I don't know all these people. But look what happened, and look what they've done. As you open up that stream, levels here represent additional lines beyond you, meaning what they do and what they get others to do. And look at these lines and levels that are developed. 2, 3, 4. Some of them 5 levels deep. Some of those on this account 6 levels deep. The money stream and the cash flow potentially is endless when you know what you're doing. When you know what you're doing. And you only learn what to do through plugging in, through your training, through paying attention to your sponsorship, through watching their example and duplicating what they do, and in some cases, what we do. Because success is guaranteed when you follow the system of duplication, keeping it simple. Simplicity creates duplication. Duplication in this manner, in this hour, will produce wealth. Look at all these levels that are growing in this line. 3, 4, 5, 6 deep. These are generations, people, that pay you while you're asleep. The America Samoa, Italy, the UK, Nigeria, Ghana, Vietnam. Look at all these folks. I'm not traveling all these places. Look, Italy, Ghana, Nigeria, France, United Arab Emirates. Okay, I'm not traveling all these places. Not that I haven't been to some, Iran. It's just that there's so much power and force in what we represent, and what it represents for you is phenomenal. But understand, people, I've only done this now for a year and a couple of months because I followed a system. And that system just basically says, get your free gold account, tell a lot of people, you'll make money. But in order for you to make the money, you got to know how to move money. So everyone moves money in the system by getting gold packages and other products. And that's how you develop your cash flow. All right. So first things first, you set up your account properly. Then you begin to build your team. As your team grows, as you see there, and that's just one account. I want you to understand that is just one account. I have a business account. My wife has an account. She's my sponsor, and she has a business account. You understand? We have found a way to avail ourselves to what Dr. Powell said in the beginning of this program, in this clip. He said the man that had the nails in his hand, he was talking about Jesus, right? He said that man with his hands and understanding that God was with him, he split time. He drove a dividing line between BC and AD, meaning before Christ and after Christ. That's how powerful his legacy is. 2,000 years later, we're still calling Jesus, right? What's in your hand right now? He said that as long as God is with you and you're with him, other numbers don't matter because God settles it all when he's in your corner. He's already given you gold when no one else would give it to you. Goliath didn't give it to you. The giants of this world didn't give it to you. The leaders of this world didn't give it to you. The education here did not give it to you. And when you had a government that allowed gold to be used, they took it from you. Now, what are we closing? What represents our BC and AD? We were before the wealth gap, and now we have the power to close the wealth gap. So as your team grows, your income also grows. Now, it's not a perfect world. Those numbers I showed you in my team and the growth in the team, it's a blessing. It's not a perfect world. You see, because everybody is not doing what we do. Many people come from many reasons. Some people's lights aren't even on yet. So when I say their lights, meaning it hasn't clicked in their mind that they are part of a phenomenal opportunity and they're well positioned. So what happens in this, we have to give ourselves time to succeed. Time to succeed. That's what we need to afford ourselves. So check this out. It reads, now I'm not sure if this came from Dr. Staggerwall or from Big Dan Geronimo. Okay, but what it says here is there is no secret, and there aren't any secrets in the world of Kabbalists. We tell everything and get paid to tell it. There's no secret. I simply showed the plan to 1,200 people, he said. 900 said no, and only 300 signed up. And out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. Out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made me a millionaire. Look, family, it works like that. Remember we talked about the formulas this week? You heard from Mr. Dalco earlier this week. He said, out of 100 people, you talk to 100 people, 20 will respond, 5 will sign up with you, and 2 will absolutely run. These formulas, I don't know why they exist. I don't know the meaning behind it, but I do know they work. I absolutely know they work. I'm living proof. So if saving 1 gram of gold per month could change your life financially, would you sign up for free right now? And you may have when you heard that question, but have you done anything since? Okay. So you got to upload your KYCs. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. That means your proof of ID and proof of address. That has to happen. That's very important in order for you to truthfully be a part of this opportunity so you can actually save gold, exchange your paper dollars for gold. It doesn't happen because you say, let's go. No, you have to will the let's go. You got to make the go active. All right. And your sponsor will help you with that. And if you can't find your sponsor, plug into the different activities and trainings we have. In fact, this Sunday, the 17th of May at 3 p.m., I'm doing a worldwide launch party on Zoom, and you'll see the information for that on this screen. Take a screenshot of it so you know where the member ID is and how you can get involved. Okay, you get your ID done, you get your KYCs done, that's approved, and then you move on to CarryPay. That's your online portal that allows you to accept the declining paper dollar and exchanging it for gold, and allows you to acquire gold products, and it allows you to save in gold. Then you're able to set up your auto exchange, saving 1 gram of classic gold per month. If you do at least that and get as much cash gold as you want, as often as you want, I'm telling you, you are positioning yourself for wealth untold. All right. And of course, acquiring the package accelerates the income. All right. And those packages come with the ability to get paid on a consistent, regular basis through direct commissions, through matching bonuses. There's so much tied to it. And you still have the unilevel savings, of which we're going to explore that today. So you acquire your multi-gold package. Why multi-gold? Because all those packages come with gold, and they also give you gold matching bonuses for everyone else you get to acquire a package just like you. Boy. And you use your cash gold in your CarryPay system through the e-wallet there, so you can acquire your package. There's more. All right. So this way the system works. This is how you make money from the monthly savings plan. Because we're paid in euros, and every 2 euros equals 1 point in that system. Points are utilized within a 30-day period to determine your unilevel rank. Your rank meaning your commission rank. How much of a percentage that you've earned for the next 30 days. All right. So when that happens, you start achieving. Everyone comes in as a distributor technically. We've done nothing with the program, but as we start accumulating by circulating in the system, we start acquiring points. And those points, they're commensurate with the commission that is paid. So you get a package, you're already at a supervisor. Any package will get you there, and you'll earn for the upcoming month a 0.5% commission. You don't get that in the banks. You have to wait a whole year to get 0.000000000002. Okay, but monthly it grows, and just imagine if you're growing your teams. Okay, so as those rankings increase as you bring more money into the system. And we have a way that we do it in Wealth Builders where we give you a true bang for your buck. You're going to learn that at the launch party at 3 p.m. This Sunday. All right. And those rankings come with achievements to the degree that you can literally find yourself earning 5.5 to 6% commission into infinity. Because the system is set up to help you in that way. Our unilevel system, you saw, this is the same that I showed you earlier, except mine was live real time. Okay. Team statistics, view unilevels. Okay. So what happens is you got your personal referrals and you have their personal referrals. So here's your personal. Level 1 is always you first. And then level 2 is their referrals. And then if someone else comes along, there's their referrals. And then more and more. You get point rankings from everybody. Everyone who uses money in the system, exchanges money in the system, grows you in points and allows you to enjoy commissions. See, it's the movement of money that generates your unilevel payout. It's a monthly payout, but it can be handsome or pretty for those who feel slighted by my saying handsome. Okay. Now, what you need to understand, everybody you bring to the opportunity. That's why sponsoring is so important. Everyone you bring is a team. So I see Sister Cece Mahone here. Hey, Sister Cece. Sister Cece, if I sponsored you, you are a team. If I sponsor Sister Mulan, she is a team. If I sponsor Jada J, she is a team. So those are 3 teams a part of my system. And when those people go and get others, then it breaks out and branches out into other levels. So let's say if this is you up top and you recruited somebody like Mr. Ty Best. Whoa. God is good to you, child. And then Mr. Best got Mr. Dalco. And then Mr. Dalco got Miss Glaspie. And Miss Glaspie went on and got Dwayne Taylor. And they're building. And you're seeing how your lines grow from you to 2 to 3 to 5 to 6 to 7. And it continues. Your system will only show you 10 levels deep at a time on that unilevel platform. But in your dual system, that's a whole nother story. And these lines grow and run into infinity. All right. And these are the rankings that you develop. Look at the commissions, how they go up from point to point to point. And how easy is it to get points when you're only asking people to save gold? It gets crazy. It gets crazy, you know. And if you do it with consistency, because remember, success is not accidental. You don't trip over it. You can trip over money. You can come across a bag of money. And you can be rich for a minute, but without a system, the money, a fool in money will soon part. How do you find out where people stand and how people are moving in your organization? Of course, if you go to your black menu bar and you go to team statistics under personal referrals, you'll see everybody that you brought to the program. What's important here to understand is it doesn't happen if you don't bring anybody. Oh, you can save in gold and you can enjoy the value of the growth of the gold, but to create an income, you got to talk to people. You got to refer to people, or you get your family active if you don't want to go beyond your family. And don't worry, it'll grow because they're not going to be able to keep it to themselves. The money gets so good, you're not able to keep it to yourself. It gets so good, you'll find yourself doing class in session at noon while I'm doing it in the morning. Okay. And you can organize through your personal referrals and see where people are moving. Contracts and points give you your ranking statuses. Points generate your commissions. All right. Now, just waiting for the screen to advance a little bit. And I appreciate your time. We're rolling really fast because, you know, it's all about the movement of money. You see, so you have first, second, and third line. The first and second line, you have to have so many points between each line, but everything else beyond that counts as a third line. Now, in your unilevel system, of course, it's a free gold savings account, right? And that's you. And you're asked to bring 2 people, but look, you don't want them to get a package before you get a package. Why? Because that means they're enjoying something in the system that you won't be, and it leaves money on the table. So this is why we always say, get your KYCs done and then acquire a package. Because when you acquire a package, you gain benefit from the movement of money. Remember, they're moving money. So money moving through the system means money is moving to you. So you got your package, right? You got your VIP. That's great. Watch what happens with this because they're duplicating what you do. So they get a package that allows you now to get a commission off of each package they get. Now, this is your line. All right. But they're not going to stop with just satisfying themselves with a package. They're going to duplicate what you do. You go and get 2 people. They're going to get 2 people. And it's going to continue to grow. And some of them will only save. And then others won't do anything. But then there's others who will acquire packages. And you'll see direct commissions, you see generational commissions, you see generational matching bonuses in cash, you see generational matching bonuses in gold, and it runs generation to generation. It gets crazy. You know, it's a freight train with no brakes because it runs into infinity. Now, some of those people that you see there, hey, they might be in Italy. They might be in Nigeria. They might be in Ghana or Iran or Vietnam, like I just showed you from one of my accounts. It could be anywhere. But because you introduced it, their world is better because you came, and your world is better because you're getting compensated. Now, mind you, folks, the cause of all this conversation going on, do you know that the package you acquired in the beginning already paid for itself? So it's literally free. This is why we can say it's a free gold savings account. This is why we can say, because it gets so strong and consistent, your commissions handle everything. You'll never come out your pocket again. Even your savings won't come out your pocket. And then on top of it, with the loyalty program attached to the Unilevel bonus, do you know that you get free gold? Can you save 1 gram of classic gold on a monthly basis, at least 1 gram? Because with that kind of savings, with this kind of team, and you getting people to duplicate what you do you know that Carabas will send you free gold monthly? I'm telling you, this system is fire, Doc. It is fire. I don't know why my screen's not advancing. Maybe it's stuck on trying to figure it out itself. So that's how the Unilevel is built, what you're looking at right now. See, that's you up top, and you bring people and you sponsor people and they save as you save. It's going to generate points. All right. So here are the people that you're bringing. It automatically divides them left to right. But everybody you bring, if they're busy, it accumulates points towards savings, and that's how you earn your higher commissions. However, when you activate the dual system by acquiring a package, your left team and right team, which is already automatically there, is set up. And as they're growing, you know what happens when you get a package? Because right now you're only enjoying points because you're building a team. And that's okay if that's where you are. But boy, please, you get a package, then you start generating units that give you payout, that give you points towards your commission, that gives you commissions, direct commissions against the sales or the acquisition of packages. It gives you matching bonuses, free cash, free gold. Man, you really, listen, the bedrock of this thing is gold. The bedrock. And instead of worshiping this trash that you call cash, break that chain and start applying it to yourself and see what really matters. And see how you're positioned immediately to grow your wealth base. It's just that powerful. I know, y'all gonna get it. I know. So let's recap. We set up our free gold savings account, right? We get our KYCs done, we acquire a package, and we automatically save and gold through our auto exchange system. That's what we do. Okay. Then we make a list, at least 100 names. You don't have a list if you don't have 100 names. We went through that the other day. I think that presentation was fire because I saw where in your comments how it was helpful to so many people. And if we just follow a system dedicated towards what we do in mass action, all of us will have a change of address. All of us will be operating from K1 Impulse phones because that's the only way you're going to be able to find us. Invite everyone to watch the video, send the video out to interested parties, follow up, ask what opportunity they saw for themselves, set up a 3-way call for Q&A and get them started. Because if you teach them to plug in now and duplicate now while they're fired up, your pockets will be fat. So, like Sister Denise says, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Now, we have liftoff, family. This is the launch. Okay. We have a worldwide Zoom launch party with me, yours truly. The meeting ID is there. Write it down. Put it in the comments if you need to for others. But make sure, or go back to the replay, but make sure that you and your teams The seating is always limited, so get people there. Join our Carabar's launch party and let's get your business in orbit. That's this Sunday, May 17th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, live stream with him. Protect and increase your wealth in uncertain times. It's uncertain for some. It's definite for others. And we're very happy to be able to call Robert Kiyosaki our friend as a wealth builder and as a member of Carabar's. And we're excited over his presentation and inviting us to be a part of it. So there's a strategy session for those who are already on my team that we're going to lay out on Sunday at 1 o'clock. My wife and I will lay it out. And if you utilize that strategy, your business will grow and explode. And there may be some of you who might want to be a part of that. Well, again, when you're dealing with 200 or so people, you really want to deal with your first liners. But I'm open to everybody because you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You know, you can't do it. Hey, Brother Sam, you just can't do it. It's not possible. All right. So plug in. Learn all of the opportunities and options that are available to you in your trainings. It's so very important. It's vital to what it is that we do. It'll be vital to what it is that you do. You don't want a job. You want to build a business. Brother David, I don't know if you received your book yet, but I went back into mine, you know, build your business, build a business, not a job. There's some nice little nuggets in that book. So, family, build your wealth. Remember, you have all the tools. You've already identified what you were spending. Now you're going to move that and allocate that towards developing your surplus. And then that creates your budget for the following month. You learned that in yesterday's presentation. And in the earlier days of the week, we gave other context by which you are able to move. So please, by all means, make sure that you follow those jewels.
Everything's always about the dream. Always about the dream.
That's right, Mr. Best.
I was 20 years old. I'd already done 6 years in corporate.
And I'm going to close with him, and I want to thank you all for your time and opportunity.
Room.
Peace and power.
And asked me, do I know anyone who'd like to make an extra $50-$100 a month? He didn't talk about getting rich. He didn't talk about getting wealthy. He didn't talk about freedom. So you don't have to oversell this thing. You know, the average person would love to make an extra $300 to $500 a month. We talk about putting millions of people in Carabar's. Now we're talking about 20, 30, 40 million people in Carabar's. We're not talking about everybody become a multi-billionaire. You can, if you want to pay that price. I have people tell us, I want to be a billionaire. Well, okay. No problem. I want to be a multi-millionaire. Well, you can. Okay. But it's going to require you cutting off the television. It's going to require you missing some football games, some basketball games. It's going to require some sacrifice required that only you know if you're willing to make. So I like to keep it simple. That guy asked me, do I know anybody like to make an extra $50-$100 a month? I said, yes, me. I didn't know what he was talking about, and I got excited. I got a little bit excited. I got a twinge of hope. That was 6 years in corporate America. I'm 20 years old. I had my own home, 4 cars in the driveway, pool in the backyard. My wife was a flight attendant, so I could fly anywhere in the world pretty much for free or for peanuts. Okay, I had all the cars I wanted to drive, didn't buy insurance, didn't put gas in them. The company fed me 5-6 nights a week. I lived on a company expense report. I mean, I live a lifestyle people dream about. I wore my shirt and tie to work, my briefcase there. I look good, status good, but as far as I was concerned, I was still broke. Not broke compared to my next door neighbor. Not broke compared to the guys in my neighborhood. Just broke compared to people who had some real money. That makes sense? Just broke, like one of my nephews when they asked me, Uncle Tyrone, people in the family say you're rich. I said, well, compared to you, I'm rich. You don't have any money. But compared to Oprah, Uncle Tyrone broke. Okay, so it's a relative term. Money is relative. And money is not to do all to say all. Okay, when you have some serious health issues going on that money can't solve, you realize how important, unimportant money is. But I tell you what, I got started. And I'll never forget that first meeting I was sitting there, Mr. Williams, Miss April. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting at first meeting on about 200 people in that room. Maybe 180, 200 people. And that guy was talking about homes and cars. He was talking about all these material things you could have. And I'm sitting saying, man, I got 4 cars in the driveway now. I got 2 Lincolns in the driveway, a Ford Mustang, and a Grand Marquis. 2 company cars and 2 I own. I was just sitting there, didn't mean anything to me. But all of a sudden, he started talking about something that meant something. He said, have you ever thought about being free? Now, as far as I was concerned, I thought I was free. I mean, that time he talking height of ignorance. I thought I was free. He said, ever thought? No, I mean really free. I said, I'm free right now. He said, I know that some of you sitting there thinking you're free. He said, if you think you're free, don't show up on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and by Thursday, you'll be free. And when he said that, it hit me. I was not free. He said, freedom is when you throw away the alarm clock and you sleep to the crack of noon. Freedom is when you wake up in the morning and do what you want to do with your life. Freedom is when you go to that golf course on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and play golf when everybody else is at the office. Freedom is when you go fishing on Tuesday, Wednesday. Freedom is when you stroll in the movies with your kid on a Wednesday afternoon and there's nobody in the movie theater but you and your child because everybody else is at work. Freedom is when all the fathers at work and you're the only father at the Little League baseball game with your kid or your grandkids. Man, he started painting that picture for freedom, guys. And I never forget, I sit up in my chair. I said, wait a minute, what's this freedom thing you talking about? Okay. And it blew my mind. He asked a simple question. What's retirement age? Everybody started yelling out numbers. 65, 75. So see how we've been conditioned? Retirement doesn't have anything to do with age. Retirement has everything in the world to do with money. This couple speaking from the stage were 32 years old. He and his wife were both retired. 2 brand new Cadillacs in their driveway, owned their brand new home. And they were both retired at 32 years old. I said, oh my God, I got to get this freedom thing. Okay. And I didn't know. I know how long it would take me to get free. Some of you right there today, you don't know how long it's going to take you to get free. You want to be free, and you can taste it. I see Dante Taylor, he can taste it, man. He can taste it. I can hear it in his voice. He can take up. He can taste this freedom thing. They want it, but he wouldn't pay the price to get it. And I saw it. I was willing to pay the price. Man, I was before then. I knew every television program that came out. I was a walking TV guy. You could call me and say, "What time this show come on, Tyrone?" I didn't have to put out the news back and tell you what time it came out. I was a walking TV guy. Okay, I spent the weekend watching football like everybody else. But when I saw freedom, when I saw that freedom thing, when I was sold that dream of freedom, man, I shut it all down. I said, I'm going to freedom. And at 32 years old, I was able to, my wife and she was able to walk away from a job she'd been on for 8 years as a flight attendant for U.S. Air. And she walked, yes, we gave up the flying privilege. Yes, we gave the benefits. Yes, we gave up the stock options, gave it all up. Okay, why? So I had a kid, and he didn't even know his mama. He'd come home, and she'd go to reach for him, and he'd run. Because she's flying, and she didn't know him, and he didn't know her. Okay, it was breaking her heart. I said, quit. She walked away at 32 years old. My son don't even remember. He's 32 right now. He don't ever remember his mother having a job. It took me 8 more years. I didn't retire till I was 40 years old. I'm telling you, I do it all over again. It took me 20 to walk into a job you've had for 10 years, 18 years in corporate America, and say, I'm out, and never look back. That was July 14th. July 14th. That's tomorrow. That'll be 22 years. Freedom. What it's all about.
That's absolutely what it's all about. Peace and power, family. I'll see us on the Power Call 1045. Check the comments for the meeting ID for the Zoom presentation, the launch party Sunday, May 17th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Peace and power.